This is an Ernie Ball Music Man silhouette guitar, and this is an Ibanez RG42TFMZ guitar, long model number. In this video, I'm going to put those two guitars head to head against each other. Before I do that, I'm going to explain a little bit about each one, and hopefully by the end, when you've heard both of them and I give my opinion on each one, it'll open your mind into, if you are looking for an Ibanez or a Music Man guitar, which one would be best for you. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about each guitar. So this Ernie Ball Music Man it's pretty special to me. It's not got any sentimental value, but I play it a lot recently. It's a 1988 model, so it's a very old one. And it's got what I don't see many Music Man guitars have. It's got a drop D, I'm going to call it like a clamp or switch on it at the top. So if I hit that, I can go into drop D tuning, and if I push it back up, it can go back into standard tuning, which comes in real handy. And it works really well as well. The neck on this guitar is what makes it something really special. This guitar has got the best feeling neck that I have ever used. I like really thin necks. I don't normally like fat curved necks. This guitar is thin, but it has got a slight curve to it as well, and it just sits really nicely in the hands. Everything about this neck is just amazing, and even the back of it shows the age as well. It's like just all road worn on the back, naturally as well. It's pretty dirty. At the minute, it's strung up a bit weird. I snapped a string on a gig, and I've ran out of high E strings. So this high E string is actually a very low gauge. It's a B string, so it's got two B strings on it in theory. So this string is very tight. The body, I have absolutely no idea what it's made of. I didn't buy the guitar new. In fact, all honesty, I didn't even buy the guitar, and no one bought it for me either. I could go in detail about that, but I'll probably do that in a future video. I did have to have a lot of repair work done on it. This scratch plate is custom made by my guitar luthier. It's pretty standard. It's got a 5-way pickup switch, tone knob, and a volume knob. Something it has got that I find you don't see a lot with Music Man silhouettes or Music Man guitars in general. Like, it's very rare. I couldn't physically find a scratch plate because I couldn't find the pickup configuration in a scratch plate. So my luthier had to custom make this scratch plate. The thing is, you don't see a HSH configuration much on a Music Man, particularly on a silhouette. It's usually an SSH if it has got 3, or it's an HH. It's very, very rare that you find an HSH. Look it up, Google it, you'll see what I mean. Other than that, it's got a very small body on it as well. But I'll go a bit more into detail about the guitars and the sounds after I've demonstrated some examples of them to you. I'll give you like my concept and which one I feel is the best out of them. And I'd love to hear what your opinion in the comments below after you've seen the video is as well on them. Let's get into the Ibanez. So this has got a long model name that I have to read to pronounce. It's an RGA42TFMZ. I don't even know if they make these RGA models anymore. I've had this guitar for about 12 years or something like that. Probably 11 years actually. This is a great guitar to play. It's got a super thin neck, which you would expect from Ibanez. which, like I said, I like thin necks, so it's great. It's got a Floyd Rose system. It is locking. If you don't like locking systems, you can probably get like not locking versions of them as well. The thing I love about this is that it's got no tone knob. It's just literally a volume knob, a pickup switch, and a coil split, which actually comes in super handy, like super simple, like no tone knobs. I very rarely use tone knobs. The pickups are the stock ones. They're just called CAP pickups, I think it is, or CRP. It's one of those, and they're great. Something very interesting about this guitar that I found extremely handy is this system on the back for the Floyd Rose. It, as opposed to having to unscrew the back plate off and use a screwdriver to release tension or adjust tension, you can literally just do it by rolling this here, and it releases or tightens the tension on it, which comes in handy, so you don't have to take the back plate off. It's got it's not got active pickups. This is for the coil split. I don't know if it's got an active coil split. I don't really know too much about that side of things, but I know that if the batteries do run out on it, the guitar doesn't work. The batteries, however, I've had this 11 years. I've had to change them twice in 11 years, and I use this guitar a lot. So yeah, they might be due a rechange soon. Who knows? It's great though. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some sounds out of each guitar. I'll try and make them as close to each other as possible, but I am just going to improv the sounds. I'll do a little bit of chords, a little bit of basic lead work, and I'll change between the pickups. So the way I'll do it is I'll play something on, I'm just going to go onto bridge pickup and then onto neck pickup on each one. So I'll play something on bridge pickup and I'll play something on neck pickup, and then I'll do the same on the other one as well. I'll keep the tone exactly the same on them. So I'm going to keep the settings on the amp exactly the same. All I'm going to do to clean up the sound when I'm doing anything clean is use the volume to roll off. And then I will put a bit of grit on as well. So check this out, have a listen to them both, and then I will give my opinion on which one I think is best afterwards. But I'd love to hear off you which one you feel is best. So there you go. You've heard the two guitars. Now I'm going to give you my opinion on the benefits of each one and which one I would choose for a gig purpose and for recording purposes as well. Hopefully that'll give you a bit of insight into which one's better. And in the future, I will put some of my other guitars head to head against each other as well. Now I'm going to start off with the Music Man, because that was the one that I introduced first. So the Music Man, in my opinion, it just has the better neck out of the two. The Ibanez has a great neck, but the Music Man just has this, the neck on this thing, honestly, it just fits straight into my hand, at least. It's like it was made to be in my hands. The downsides to this Music Man, and my luthier told me this when he did some repair jobs on it, quite a lot of repair jobs. You may have noticed this, bonus points if you noticed it on the sound test as well. The bridge pickup on this, the humbucker, is only firing on one side. Which side, I don't know, because I can't remember which one he told me, but I think it's the inner side, so the side closer to the bridge. So it's essentially only working as a single coil pickup, which doesn't work in its favor, I feel, because it takes excuse me, it takes a lot of beef out of the sound. Like, this guitar plays absolutely amazing, but it does lack in sound. Like, I really struggle to get a good tone out of this out of this guitar, particularly on the bridge pickup. I really struggle to get a good tone out of it. Like, when I'm jamming with this guitar, I'm aware that the tone is not going to be amazing, so I don't really spend much time with tone anyway, because spending 30 minutes on finding a guitar tone when I can spend 30 minutes practicing and playing, it's a no-brainer. As long as I've got a tone that'll do. Tone's just more specific when actually gigging, I find. Yeah, this guitar is the one I would choose for purely playing alone in terms of the neck. But in terms of the sound, this one needs, it just doesn't quite give me the sound that I like. The other downside to this guitar I find as well, the body is so small on it, that particularly when I'm playing, I bridge my hand and I play open-handed. I don't play closed-handed unless I'm doing certain techniques. So when I'm playing a lot, especially if I'm doing funky stuff, you see where my fingers are landing on my open hand? Well, if I'm doing funky stuff, this happens a lot. So if I'm playing something neck pickup or like in between the pickups, it's so easy on this to bang that. It's like, you know, a Strat one would be further down. This one is so close that it's just very temperamental. So usually if I'm using this guitar, I do use it mostly on the bridge pickup. This drop D clamp does come in well handy as well, so that works in favour for this guitar, and it's not that heavy. It's quite light, actually. I'd say the neck is the heavy part of it. Right, let's switch over to the Ibanez. I'm going to tell you something interesting about this one now. So the whole time that you heard the guitar, this has actually had a snap string. So if you listen to this though, it's almost in tune with itself still from snapping a string. Now, how does that happen? So the string has actually snapped. I don't know if you can see this. It's snapped above the neck where the lock-ins are. And I'm kind of glad that has happened so that I could demonstrate the benefits of a Floyd Rose system, because a lot of people do dislike them. So it's snapped above the headstock, but the guitar can stay in tune with itself still, because it's locked in up there, so the same amount of tension is still on the guitar from the bridge up to the locking joint, which is handy. Right, so I said I preferred the neck on the Music Man, but that's because I prefer the neck on the Music Man compared to all of my guitars. This guitar also has an amazing neck. And I mean, like your hand can just fly across this easily. That my handle will move better with speedy stuff on this guitar than it will on the Music Man, but the Music Man's just got that good balance between speed, like I can get speed on it, but also kind of feel like I can grip it a bit as well. It's not too fat though for my hands. But this guitar does have an amazing neck. I have no idea what sort of neck it is. It looks like rosewood. I don't really pay much attention to woods on guitar anymore, to be honest with you. So Floyd Rose, this comes in handy compared to the Music Man. The Music Man's a fixed bridge. It looks like it's got trem on it, but it's not. It's literally a fixed bridge. It doesn't have a bar. This one comes in handy for getting some of those nice vibratos compared to it. So that's a plus, and I do love bar work as well. That's a plus compared to the Music Man. I prefer the simplicity of the guitar with it just having one volume knob. I don't use tone knobs much at all. I do use them, but very rarely. The coil split on this comes in handy for splitting the coils, and you can actually make this, believe it or not, you can make this kind of sound like a Strat, a little bit like a Fender Strat. I just love the colour of this guitar as well. There's just something about bursts or quilts that I love. Like the colour of this guitar is what made me buy this guitar years ago. I saw the colour of it, I loved the look of it, and then I tested it, and luckily I loved the way it played. And back when I bought this, I didn't have the Music Man, and I still to this day love this colour. I am absolutely gutted because years ago I made this first dent on it, and that is still the only dent that is ever on it, and it was from live use. The guitar teaches you where your strap locks. The guitar just dropped off the strap and smashed onto my Mesa Boogie pedal board. So the question is now, which one wins out of the two, and which one would, if I had to choose one of them to do both jobs, live and studio, which one would I go for? And the answer is, can you guess? It's actually the Ibanez, believe it or not. This Ibanez has done a lot of gigs, and it's done a lot of studio work with me as well. And this guitar just sounds great, both live and in the studio. It's dead easy to get a good sound out of this straight away, which is important for me as a professional musician. Like I don't want to have to spend hours and hours just finding an all right tone. Like I want to be able to plug in and have at least an all right tone straight away. I want to spend more time playing, and I want to put more time into my show. And anyone that gigs professionally knows that if you don't have at least a decent sound that you're happy with live, it makes you play worse. Like it puts you on a downer. So out of the two, I would choose it, and it is also more versatile than the Music Man with it having the coil split. Even though it's not got the tone knob that the Music Man's got, it does have that coil split. So out of the two, the winner for me would be this guitar. It sounds better. It plays almost like it plays better. It's more comfortable for the right hand, but the neck's amazing, but it's just not as good as the Music Man one. But if I had to choose one of them to gig with and to do studio work with all the time, it would be this Ibanez. I'd love to know what you thought of the two guitars in the comments below. So let me know, and if you've got any questions about the two, also let me know. Do I feel like one of those Music Mans is a good investment though? Like, would you love it? 100%. 100%. However, I know that these are, well, I don't know if you can get hold of them anymore. I don't think they make these models. I might be wrong. If you could let me know also about that. If you know, that'd be amazing. I think you can only get hold of these if you're looking from used and you find one. And also, that particular Music Man, you will never find. The chances of finding one of them are rare because it is a 1988 model, so it's a really old one. But silhouettes, you can buy them still. They're quite easy to get hold of. But yeah, I'd love to know in the comments below which one you preferred and why you preferred it, and if you've got any questions about them as well. In the meantime, keep on rocking.